Hey guys, welcome to this video. I'm a representative for AMZScout in this video, and I've been selling for about 3 to 4 years. So I've been selling for quite a long time, so I do know what I'm talking about. So I'm bringing these videos for AMZScout. And in this video, we're going to talk all about reviews. So before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification, leave a like, and if you have any questions throughout the video, just leave a comment down below, and I hope you enjoy it. So let's get right into it. In this video, we're going to discuss how we can use reviews to find out whether or not it's worth it to sell a product, and if we do sell a product, how we can get that competitive edge. Now, I've written a whole bunch of notes on my computer about what I want to discuss with you today because I don't know everything off by heart. So we're going to get right into it. So firstly, it's quite funny actually. Reviews can be used for two different purposes. Customers would use reviews to find out if they want to buy something. If these pair of scissors got a good review, then I might buy them, right? And that is pretty much where the line is drawn for reviews. However, as a seller and as someone who has sold for quite a while and knows the game and knows the system, I actually use reviews not just for buying, but to find out if I want to sell something, and not just if I want to sell it, but how I can sell it and make it better than the competition. So that's why reviews are crucial, and especially for private labeling, because if you think of private labeling, you have two identical products, and I'm trying to find two identical products on my desk, but I can't. So you have two identical products, and I've got some over there. I'm gonna get them. Right, you've got two identical products, okay? Now this is just the box because I can't find the product, but a water bottle, that's completely identical. Now you think they're the same, but if you look closely, okay, you can see the logo is slightly different. And that's because they're sold by two different people. That's what private labeling is. Someone has gone and private labeled that water bottle, changed the logo, and sold it themselves. Okay, so the reason why reviews are so important for private labeling is because we're going to use the reviews to find out how we can one up our competitors and make our product just that much better that gets us more sales. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to break down all the different stars. So 1-star reviews, 2 and 3-star reviews, 4-star reviews, and 5-star reviews. And then we're going to use the AMZScout extension, the Chrome extension, and I'm going to talk to you about two areas of it. I'm going to get into that a bit later, and it's going to be really cool, and it's going to really help you understand and realize why reviews are so important. So let's just start with the reviews, what the stars mean. So when you're looking at, well, firstly, when you want to find a product, you will search Amazon, and the product we're using are stainless steel spatula set. Okay, you know what a spatula set is? Basically a stainless steel version of it. We are using that as our example, and when you go through when you're going through product research and you're clicking on all their products to have a look at them, you will have a look at their reviews. And if you see lots of 1-star reviews, then 1-star generally means mistakes that you really want to avoid in your product. Usually with 1-star reviews, the customers will return the product. So you want to see what the 1-star reviews say. A lot of the time it's just bitter customers who've had a bad experience and the product's actually okay, or they've got a faulty batch. But some of the time, the review will actually have some constructive criticism in it, saying what they like and what they don't like. So that's what you can use 1-star reviews for. 2-star reviews for, 2 and 3-star reviews, we'll put them in the same bracket. This means like they expected more. So if you got this wallet and you just thought you'd get a bit more out of it and there's a few improvements that you could think of, then you would probably give it a 2 or a 3-star review. So this is the best place to find ways that you can improve the product. So if you're selling a water bottle, okay, or the stainless steel set like we said, and you see 2 or 3-star reviews, that's the best place to look to see how you could improve on the product. You can tailor your product to their needs, and you can see their weaknesses. So this is amazing, and you can use what they don't have to sell yours. So for example, if a review says for the stainless steel set, let's say it says it doesn't have a rubber handle and it gets very hot and I burnt myself, okay? Well, you can use that in your description or your bullet and say, burn free, specially made rubber handle with this stainless steel set. Now, only make claims that are true, so if it does actually have that, then say it. But the brilliance of using this is that you can use your competitors' weaknesses and use it to sell your product. So that's huge, and that's a really cool way of finding out how to differentiate yourself from your competition. Right, you've also got 4-star reviews. 4-star reviews are pretty good. They like the product quite a lot. They don't fully like it, and there's two different types of reviewers. You've got reviewers who just refuse to give a 5-star, even if they absolutely love the product. They don't give a 5-star. I don't know why there are people out there like that, but there are. So you get those people, and they'll leave 4-star reviews, and they'll actually love the product. And you've got the other people who will leave a 4-star review because it's not perfect, but they feel bad to leave a 3-star review, and they don't leave a 5-star review, so they'll leave a 4-star review. And with these reviews, you can see what the product, what the seller is doing right. You can maybe make some slight tweak improvements on your product, but generally 4-star reviews are pretty good. 5-star reviews are perfect. That is it. That's what you need. The 5-star reviews, what you want to do is you want to find their 5-star reviews and see what they're doing right. Usually people will complain more than give a 5-star review. So for example, if you love something, there's less chance of you leaving a review, whereas if you hate something, you don't want anyone else to buy, you hate it, you passionately hate it, right? You're gonna leave a bad review because you don't want anyone else touching it. But if you love it, then whatever people find it, they find it. But actually, on the rare occasion that products get 5-star reviews, they could be a lot of golden nuggets in those 5-star reviews. You can see exactly what a product is doing, what a seller is doing right with their product. And one thing to note is you don't want to be copying people. Like, so if they get reviews saying what's good, you don't want to copy them exactly, you want to tweak it slightly. So if the 5-star review says something like the branding was amazing, I love their customer service, this whole thing was amazing, you don't want to copy their branding, you don't want to exactly copy their logo. Like this guy's like over here, right? He's literally nearly copied the logo. Like it's crazy, like, it's silly. So what you want to do is, what you could take from that is you could take that people obviously care about the branding, so you want to focus on the branding, really make the branding as good as possible and make it a big deal. And they obviously like the customer service, so that you could definitely copy their customer service. You want to make your customer service as good as possible. So with the 5-star reviews, with the 5-star reviews, you want to take what's working and you want to apply that to your product and tweak it slightly so that you're not directly copying them. Here are a few cautions to note if you're doing product research and you don't know whether or not it's good. So if the competition products will have tons and tons of reviews, then, and I mean hundreds and hundreds of reviews, you probably don't want to mess with them because it's going to be hard. They'll probably be a lot more established. So we would say not more than a few hundred reviews, maybe not more than 300 or 350 reviews, because they will be a lot more established. Another thing you want to note is whether or not they're 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, what their average is. If they only have a few hundred reviews, but they're all 5-star average, it's going to be very hard to compete with that because they are established, they've got amazing reviews, people trust them, people like them. If they've got 4 stars, then that's pretty good, that's okay, you could deal with that. And if they've got 3 stars, well, that's amazing, and it just shows that there's tons of room for improvement, and you can dominate the market with your product and get 5-star reviews because they have an average of 3 stars. So that's what you should note when it comes to like different cautions with products if they have lots of reviews and what it means. So that's what that is about, and we're now going to go onto the computer and I'm actually going to show you the AMZScout Chrome extension, and we're going to use the LQS and the RPR, and I'm going to tell you what that stands for and all of that. I'm just going to go into the computer now. So the product we're using are you can see here, the stainless steel utensil set. Okay, and the first thing we're going to look at is the LQS. Okay, and now the LQS stands for Listing Quality Score. And anything above 80 you probably want to avoid. You're looking for something below 80. And this is just the quality of the listing. So how good the listing is as an entirety, the reviews, the images, the description, the bullets, all of it, how good the images, how good the listing is, right? And if it's above 80, you're gonna find it hard to compete with it. So you can see here, we are in the Chrome extension, and I'll exit out and I'll show you what I did. So I searched for the stainless steel kitchen utensils. I clicked the little Chrome extension above here, and then this popped up, very nice. And you can see it's got all this information here. And the ones we're gonna worry about are the LQS, which is this one, and the RPR, which is this one here. Okay, now, so with LQS, like I said, this is about how good the quality of listing is. So you want to find something below 80. So you can see here, this is 82, and that looks like very good images. It's probably a very good listing. It's only got 46 reviews, not crazy. This one is 62, but then again, look, it's got 2 reviews, that's why. 76, 75. So this isn't the end of the world. They're quite high, but it's not the end of the world. The other thing you want to look at is RPR, which stands for revenue per review, okay? And if you have a look here, this is basically, you see this number, $5, $6, $56. This is what, this is revenue per review. So every $5, they would get a review. Every $6, they would probably get a review. Every $72, they'd probably get a review. The lower the number is, the more reviews a product would probably get. So if it's a very, very low number, you would think that the product is a product that is a highly reviewed product and it's a well talked about product. That's really what it means. So for example, if it has $2, then you could imagine that, or this is $1, you could imagine, and the reason this is $1 is because there's 84 reviews, $1, and the estimated revenue is $96. This isn't the best product. That's besides the point. It's actually got a very good score, but we're not going to go into that now. I'm not going to confuse you. But what this shows is, that it's not very expensive to get reviews. People tend to leave more reviews for this type of product, which is really, really good to know. Now, you could also think of it as, if the number is very high, $130, or this is $470, you could think, well, it's so high, but it could also be flipped, and that could be a good thing. And it could show that there is a high profit, that the product will have a lot of profit. So you can see their estimated revenue is 160,000, and the reason that's there is that's going to be at the top. So that's 160,000, which is huge. That's monthly, so that is ridiculous on its own. But you can see the RPR is 470. That's because they have 342 reviews. So they don't have very many reviews, but they've got huge, huge revenue. So that's what that stands for. I hope that makes sense to you. Now, how cool is that you're able to see the chances of you get the likelihood of you getting reviews, how much it could cost you per like how much you have to make for you to start getting reviews. This is mind-blowing information that there's just no other way to get this sort of information. So I think it's super, super cool. And then the whole LQS, the listing quality score, is again out of this world. This is they've done all the information for you. So I thought this information is really cool. We didn't have any of this sort of stuff, so I really like it. Now, that's the end of this video. If you have any questions, definitely leave a comment down below. My name is Shimmy Morris, and I've come on as an AMZScout guest, like an expert speaker about Amazon, because I've had this whole Amazon business going for quite a while. It's been quite successful. If you do want to check out my personal channel, the link will be in the description. I make tons of Amazon videos. I also make videos about AMZScout, as well as lots of other teaching and training videos about Amazon, so you can definitely go and check that out. And like I said, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'm looking forward to potentially seeing you in the next video.